Why honeybees are so important for the mankind? About one third of human diet is produced by insect pollination, and most of it is done by honeybee. Almond, blueberry, and cherry depend entirely on honeybee. No other insect has the popularity like honeybee. Okay, then what is pollination? To know about pollination, let's first know the parts of a flowering plant. Flowers are specialized leaves. Instead of producing food by photosynthesis like leaves do, they contain male and female organs necessary for sexual reproduction. Attractive color and fragrance of the plants helps to attract insects. The following parts are available in most of the flower like sepal, petals, stigma, ovary, etc. as shown in the picture. Nectar is found at the base of the petal for which insects come to the flower. In flowers like tulip, the sepal is not seen. All the petals together form the corolla. Botanists use the arrangement of sepal to separate the plants to families. The anther has pollen sacs in which pollen grains are formed. This is the male part of a flower. The stigma, style and ovary together called as carpel, and it is the female part of a flower. The ovary contains one or more ovules which contain the egg cell. When the pollen fuses with the egg cell in the ovary, it creates fruit. As the pollen grains do not move by themselves, this is done by insects, animals, wind, and in rare cases by water. This process is called pollination. When the pollen falls into the stigma of the same flower, it's called self-pollination. And when the pollen falls into the stigma of another flower, it's called cross-pollination. Insects like honeybee, butterflies drink the nectar at the base of the petals. Honeybees have a special stomach for transporting the nectar to the beehive. In the stomach, the nectar is changed into honey, which is used to feed the bee larvae. As the honeybee has hairy body, when it sucks the nectar, the front leg brushes the pollen grains to the pollen basket on its third pair of legs. The pollen is rich in protein and is used to feed the bee larvae. When the honeybee visits the other flower and when it sucks sucks the nectar, it backs rubs the stigma of the flower and the flower is pollinated. The pollen grains has rough surface which makes it to stick into animal body. In tropical countries, pollination is also done by birds and bats. When hummingbirds drink nectar, the pollen sticks to its head and beak, and when the bird visits another flower, the pollen is transferred to the stigma of another flower. Wind plays an important role in the pollination of many plants. Flowers of grass, alder, poplar does not have nectar and they are not visited by insects. These flowers produce pollens which are very light and they are carried by wind. The stigma of wind-pollinated flowers are often long and feathery that helps them to catch the airborne pollen grains. Trees like hazel and oak, both male and female flower are on one plant, whereas in poplar and willow, male and female flowers are on different parts. Flowers can have different petal, sepal and stamen. Petals can be radial or bilateral. Bilateral flowers are symmetric. Often, several flowers are arranged in the flower stalk. Such cluster of flowers are called inflorescence. These are some different kind of inflorescence.